Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the podcast Step Into Your Voice. I am your host, Nina Macaria, and even if I'm not recording this in the comfort of my home, still I wanted to record a new episode today. And I want to ask you, are you team new year, new me? Are you setting goals or resolutions as soon as the year starts, or maybe even in December? Or are you more like continuing to do what you started in maybe Q4 of the last year, and maybe spring is for you the best time to set new goals where you feel you can flourish and you are maybe feeling more alive as soon as the spring will start? I'm curious to know. Let me know in the comments, are you team new year, new me, or are you team flourish in the spring? To be honest, I feel that this is the first time where I'm sitting in this energy of continuing what I did in 2025. And I have the feeling that I did something similar last year, but I don't think I completely realized what I did. And I fully enjoyed last year, even though I obviously had ups and downs. But still, I remember that I had a very slow January, and this January is going to be slow again. So I am not feeling this vibe of new year, new me this time. And I must confess, it feels a little bit messy because I was usually feeling the thrills of, okay, it's January, I'm starting with a clean slate, and this year it's going to be different. This year I'm going to do things differently. And the more I think about it, I start to realize that I really don't resonate with this idea of setting goals and resolutions as soon as the year starts, especially after this long winter break. And here where I live in Romania, the break is really long. I mean, I'm religious, I'm Orthodox, and we celebrate Christmas for 3 days. And then, even when I had a regular job, a 9 to 5, I used to take days off between Christmas and New Year. And usually here you have at least 21, a minimum 21 days of vacation, paid vacation per year. So usually people, if possible, they will save some days to take them off between Christmas and the New Year, and maybe 1 or 2 or 3 days off after the New Year. So you have this really long break, except maybe if you work in retail. But I've always worked in places where I was able to take time off, and I always had a long winter vacation. And now that I am my own boss, I obviously continue to do this. And kids are also on vacation. Definitely, those days feel as you see in those reels where people don't know what day of the week it is it a festive holiday, what day it is. And for us, New Year is again a huge celebration. Usually people throw parties, or you go to a restaurant and you party all night long. And this year, my daughter was very happy that New Year is the only night where she can stay up for as long as she wants and nobody's going to say anything to her. And I'm also feeling that my sleep schedule is a little bit messed up because, yeah, it's vacation. I really don't have to wake up at a specific time in the morning, so I stay up late, and then I have a hard time waking up in the morning. Obviously, I eat more than usually, so everything is very, very slow, and it really cost me to go back to a regular schedule. These days, I really feel that I need more coffee. I feel that I am more grumpy in the morning and I need more time to gather my thoughts. But on the other hand, I really enjoy this time where we don't need to rush. We have a lot of time to spend with the family. We enjoy eating together, sharing more stories, or even play some board games. We go ice skating, watch more Netflix than usually. And then no wonder that I'm actually very excited to go back to my Pilates classes because I feel heavy. I really feel the need to go back to the regular schedule where I am a little bit more organized. My guess is that one thing that worked for me is that I was able to reflect on my year early in December. And I talked about this in this episode. If you want to go watch it, I shared more about how I reflected on my year. And the way I did the 2025 reflections really resonates with me and is a better way for me to segue into this new year, into what I want to focus more in 2026 and what to do less. Because I feel that if you fill your calendar, your life, with those activities, with those people that you really want to spend your time with, then you will have less time to waste on activities that are not important or waste your time with people that you don't necessarily feel that it's a good way for you to spend your time with. Another thing that really contributed to this good vibe and state of mind is that in December I landed a new client and I really love her energy. She is very good at sending me files for me to edit in advance. And then this week she asked me if I was okay with her sending me more files for me to edit because she would like to be ahead of the releasing schedule with at least 4 episodes because she's a mom of 3. You know how it is in winter, you never know when one of the kids will get sick, and then they are younger. And I remember how it was. If one of them was getting sick, then the other one will follow. So I totally loved her energy. I was like, oh my God, yes, I actually would love to have more clients like you because right now, and somehow I really understand the way this goes. Most of my clients struggle with recording ahead of time, with batch recording. Some of them are not a good fit at batch recording. They really love to record an episode last minute. And one of my clients travels a lot. She did a lot of cruises this year. She hosted retreats outside of the US. So it was obviously very challenging for her to record episodes. And then when I look at what I'm doing myself, I am still finding myself in this phase where I can't batch record. I would definitely love to record more episodes in a week, but I'm not that organized yet. Hopefully I will get there. I would really love to get there. I'm so happy that I landed this client, and definitely I would love more clients who are just like her to send me the files in advance. And this really helps me as well to have some wiggle room in case something happens in my own life or business. And I'm really grateful for that. And I feel this really is contributing to me feeling a really great energy at the beginning of this year, even if I know that January will be slow. And for the past couple of days, the energy that I am feeling is one of really believing. I started, I think it was in September or maybe October, to read the Bible. And one of the verses that I read a couple of days ago that really stuck with me. And the verse is from the Gospel of Mark, chapter 11, verse 24. Therefore, I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. And no, you don't have to be a Christian in order to bring a similar energy into your life. You just need to believe that everything you do matters and it's important, and everything will work out just beautifully for you. Even when you are in a low mood, your next action, your next move doesn't have to come from this place where you are in today. And I feel that a lot of times I actually did that, but you can do this from a place where everything is possible. For the last couple of years, I feel that I ran my life and my business based on this energy where I was making decisions from the place I was currently in and not from a place of possibilities. If I go back to my previous life, and I call it previous life, the life before having the kids, I remember that I was more ambitious, more perseverant, I dreamed more. And if I were to picture my life from the energy of the current state I was in, then people like me would just get a regular job, but I somehow knew that I want a little bit more of that. I had no idea how what I wanted was going to happen, but all I knew was that I was going to get there. And I just believed in with my entire being. Even if my brother mocked me because he couldn't believe that such a thing was actually possible for me, because we were just, a normal, regular family. My parents were working regular jobs. So people like us will end up doing the same. But I loved dreaming, and I was not focused on the details, on how I was actually going to get what I wanted. I was only focused on the final destination. And all I had in mind, it was that end goal. And the goal was not realistic at all. Realistically, I should have been getting a 9 to 5 right after university. Actually did that right after graduation. That summer I worked for, I think, 2 months maybe. But then I got a scholarship for a master's degree, and it wasn't any master's degree, it was one in Spain that was paid in full. It was a scholarship that covered all the expenses. And that was definitely not something that, it was not even like an option for me, something that would be possible. So I was the first one in my family to have a master's degree. And then I landed a job working for the government in Romania. And then obviously, that was very helpful when I applied for a paid traineeship at the European Commission. So that was my ultimate goal, to get to the European Commission. My dream was to work there. But then when I got there, I was married for 4 years and I really wanted to start a family. So I did the 5-month paid traineeship at the European Union. And then I decided to come back home and start a family. If you work at the European Commission, I think they have a paid maternity leave that is, I'm not sure, maybe 12 weeks. And we in Romania, we have 23 months. So I was like, you know what? If I want to have kids, I'm going to come back home because I want to be able to stay with my kids as long as possible. And that's what I did. But what I remember very clearly is that I had this unshakable belief that I will get to the European Commission, and somehow it really worked. I realized that along the way, I kind of lost this version of mine after spending all my time with the kids. I kind of forgot about my big goals. If you are also feeling this energy and want to keep each other accountable, comment below or maybe message me on Instagram. You will find all the details on how to connect with me on Instagram in this video description. I would really love to support each other because I know that as a busy mom, I am sure that you maybe set goals or maybe you want to start new habits, and then you realize actually how easily it is to fall off the bandwagon. But when you have an accountability buddy, everything is going to be a little bit easier. I know that sometimes you will do things, you will take an action step because you don't want to feel bad when you are going to connect with your accountability buddy and tell that person, well, you know, I actually didn't do anything this week or today. So it's really helpful to have an accountability buddy. So if you need one, if you want to start this new habit of believing again that you can do great things, then let's connect. I really don't know what's gonna happen in the future, but what I know right now is that I really want to hold on to this energy for as long as possible. And obviously, an accountability partner is going to be very helpful. So, to wrap up, I really want to assure you that you are not behind, you are not weird if you did not set those realistic goals for 2026. I am with you if you feel you are going to have a slow month. There is nothing wrong with you, and I feel we can accomplish amazing things this year. Cheers to 2026. See you in the next episode.